Hello and welcome to the Inquisitorial Archive. My name is Kevin O'Rourke and today I'm going to be reviewing Blood of Martyrs for Dark Heresy. Blood of Martyrs is an ecclesiarchy based book with in sections it details a lot. One of the cooler sections is it details a lot about the Calixian Synod, basically the cardinals of the Calixian sector, or at least the most important ones, as well as some of the various cults involved in the Calixian sector. For that, on that respect, it gives you ample stuff for other games other than Dark Heresy. It's got plenty of mechanics and things, but talking about how the ecclesiarchy works, how the personalities of different cardinals who are in different areas work. It's very nice to see this. It's very nice to get these details. Some of these guys are mentioned in different books, but you're getting them all here in one place. You're not getting all the details again in different books because some of these are tied into adventures and things. But you get all the cardinals and stuff who are in charge of a section like the Periphery or something like that. The cults I do love because some of them you end up with like the Red Cult, the Red Cult of Redemption, who you know from Necromunda and things, who are fanatics of the highest order, extreme Puritans, which is pretty cool. But you got the Drossians who own the big local cults. The Vitrian Covenant are another cool one who basically hate Xenos and they want to destroy Xenos, particularly orcs. Very nice. You end up with some sections talking about the history of ecclesiarchy. Gives you a lot to work with if you want to do either an ecclesiarchy based game or even just wrapping in elements of ecclesiarchy if you want to do lots of stuff. With this, it's got some nice stuff here. Now, that said, then you start moving on to stuff about the mechanics. The information on background with the different saints and stuff is pretty handy, particularly if you can bring lots of that up in your game. Once we're getting into mechanics, I don't know how useful a lot of this stuff is. And I have my gripes about some other stuff. They have additional home mods, like Shrine Worlds and Monastic Upbringing. Farmless Protege guys are the most useful. It's basically you've been bred, that there's this group of Sisters of Battle who manage the family lines and they've been trying to get, they've been breeding nobles effectively, like arranging marriages and different things. And you get into some cool stuff. It's like being a noble, but you're a bit different. They're certainly usable. Farmless Protege, I don't think they've ever come up with 40k before this book, but they have them in there, screw it, I can go along with that. But you end up with Monastic Upbringing and other things. Well, the problem with this is, I'll give you a quote here. You find it extremely hard to act against Orthodox religious symbols or agents of the Ministorum, as this goes against what you stand for. You take a -10 penalty to ecclesiarchy. Basically, you're ending up with penalties to go against what ecclesiarchy have, which could really screw your character over. The big problem one is the Shrine Worlds, where you're effectively, I think it's basically saying, no one of them has the drawback that this is so built into you that you have to take a willpower test if somebody questions the authority of the ecclesiarchy in any way. Even if this is lighthearted, even if this is a joke, even if this is rational, if somebody questions this stuff, you can go into a blind rage because somebody said a joke. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. They have the ecclesiarchy backgrounds. You're going to have to take them, leave them somewhere. One of those Blessed Birth seems to be good for 100 XP. You can only take one background, obviously, so give me your options for stuff. You can only be a cleric or sororitas. For 100 XP, you get an additional fate point, up to a max of 3 because you were born in a saint's day or something like that. So the Emperor obviously looks over you a bit more. Some of the background packages, you got Pilgrim's a cool one because you get a few skills like Common Law, Ecclesiarchy, things like that, but you lose a lot of your gear. That's a pretty balanced one that costs no XP, I believe, but you're losing a lot of your gear for a few skills. Later on, if you survive, that's great. But if you're in a game where you're not going to be able to loot that much or different things, it could be a real problem because you're starting off with like the clothes on your back, a pilgrim's basically pendant or something, and one weapon. That's it. Everything else is lost. The Omnicide Apostate is a cool one where basically it's only for tech priests, where you believe that you believe in the Emperor. You don't believe in the machine god, you believe in the Emperor. I had a player play one of those. We did something interesting before. Great. one of the other things I like is they do have witness to the divine. Now you might say I'm contradicting myself later on, but I'll explain that. 300 XP, it's for guardsmen only, you gain the pure faith talent. And it gives examples. Basically, you saw something, which means you reinforce your already quite strong faith in the Emperor. And you have pure faith, you are a holy man. You don't have to be a cleric to be someone pure faith. And they give some examples, like you were stuck in the desert and you ran out of food and rations and things, and you were screwed. You were out of water. You're all going to die of dehydration. But you say a prayer to the Emperor, and you open up one of the jerry cans that's supposed to be filled with petrol, and it's actually filled with water, and the entire squad lives. And you got a bunch of cool different things that could have helped inspire your guy. Miracles that could have happened around him, kind of thing. Maybe because he's got pure faith, they happen around him because of these things. Which is nice. They have some alternate ranks and stuff. I'm not too keen on some of these for one big reason. I don't mind pure faith. I mind when everybody has pure faith, when a hell of a lot of people, because this is supposed to be a really rare thing. And I get that you're PCs. That's not a problem. But most of these give you pure faith. Now there's some examples like the Fraterus Militia, which I'll go with. You get stats for a redemptionist kind of type thing, prestige class, a specific type of redemptionist they give details of, but you can do redemptionist. They already stats for redemptionist as an elite package for which I think it might serve better as an elite package because anyone can be a redemptionist, like seeing a debt going into it, whereas this one's more restricted to cleric or assassin, I think. But they got exorcists and different things. It's like, yeah, they got some cool stuff, drill habits. It's kind of up to you. It's just my problem is a lot of these have pure faith. I don't like everyone having pure faith. You don't have to take it, but it's a bit too common. Now we come to, I like cell directives. I really do. I think it's a cool thing where cell directives effectively let you go off and go, hey, we're, to GM's permission, you go off, well, everyone has to pay XP, but you all get a bonus and you get advances, extra little table kind of thing. So if you're Ordo Hereticus retinue, you end up with a cool thing where it gets 200 XP for everyone. You have to meet certain requirements, like you have to have a cleric or Adeptus Sororitas in it. You get hatred heretics or hatred psychers. So you choose at an individual level. And it's like, it's cool. And you get access table. It's like, oh, cool. You actually get Forbidden Lore Heresy. It's an expensive rate. It's a very expensive rate. But it lets you get Forbidden Lore Heresy. It lets you get an Inquiry for cheap. Which means if you're going to Ordo Hereticus retinue, it means although he'll have to pay through the nose for it, the guardsman can actually get Forbidden Lore Heresy. The adept can get it early too by taking this, but it would be cheaper for him if he just waits. So that's nice. I like that. The problem, as I see it, is they have 4 of these cell directives. 2 of them have pure faith on the cell directive advanced tables. So that means you've got an entire group of acolytes who can have pure faith. It's like, what? It just cheapens it. And one of them's like, oh, you're firebrands. You can be firebrands without having pure faith. Pure faith should be a really rare, really cool thing. I haven't played a character with one yet. The missionary for Rogue Trader gets it because that's their special cool thing. It's like, that's fair enough. That's their special cool thing. When I play someone with pure faith, it's going to mean something. When I eventually do that, I haven't done it yet. I've had plenty of opportunities. I've played clerics and stuff. They haven't had pure faith because not every cleric is going to have pure faith. And it should be a cool thing, but you're just making it too common here. I don't mind the guardsman thing because it gives you an option, and you got to go to GM with going, oh, let's get a cell directive, and it's there. And if you take it away from the cell directive, are you screwing the players over because you're taking away the option of them having pure faith when that's part of getting access to the option to buy that's part of the XP they spent? It's a pain in the ass. I don't like it. Now you got the Sisters of Battle class. They already had a Sisters of Battle class in Inquisitor's Handbook. This one, things generally cost more. I've seen people like try to break it down. You end up paying more XP overall for your advances with the Battle Sister. It doesn't break them into different paths. They say, oh, if you're going to be Sister of Battle, if you're going to be Combat 1, you're this class. They do have an alternate rank for if you want to be, a Sister Hospitaller, like the medic ones, you're actually taking this alternate rank thing for the first rank of medic or of adept. It's like, that's cool, I'm fine with that, that's no problem. And they start with, you know, pure faith, which I can get. Resistance battle, you know, I'm not keen on everything going from having it, but it's like, yeah, it's kind of because they got on the tabletop and stuff. Okay, fine. There's just a battle they've been like groomed since they were toddlers for this kind of crap. It's like, yeah, doesn't mean they should have it necessarily, but I can get over them having a bit more. But where it gets weird is they have equipment. The equipment is really, really weird because they only get a small amount of starting thrones, they get money every month, that's fine. But you're starting off with, I'll tell you, okay, you get a suit of Sorcerer's power armor, but you don't have a helmet, but you're getting a suit of power armor. A Gwydden Diaz pattern bolter, 2 reload clips, Chaplet of Ecclesiarchy, it's a charm basically, Ring of Suffrage, copy of the rules of Sororitas, Scaradia, self-flagellation flail, a writing kit, and shield robes. Shield robes are fantastic by themselves anyway, never mind the goddamn power armor. Shield robes are like AP 3 or 4 or something all over, and they're like really fancy robes, like, right. So this is a rank 1 character, they've got a bolt gun and power armor. It's light power armor, you don't have a helmet. But like, you've got like the Guardsman, who was previously, if you just go by the core book, he's got like the best comic gear sound for this flak armor, and these lads go, yeah. And she shows up, and it depends on the game. If it's a game where the GM is gearing it so the players can acquire gear very quickly, that can balance out. For the first, that's obviously going to be unbalanced because, you know, the best other geared guy in the party has flak armor and a las gun, which he's got a bolt gun and power armor. But as you go up at rank 2, you can get a requisition bolt pistol or sword. As you rank up, you can start getting stuff like Stormbolter at rank 6 and stuff. Is like, in a lot of campaigns I've run, and a lot of campaigns I've played in, at rank 6, you don't have this stuff. This stuff is difficult to get. Certain campaigns will differ in other ways. Certain campaigns, people run in power armor, bolt guns and stuff at rank 3, no problem. It depends on the GM, it depends on the Inquisitor, it depends on how clever the group is. I just pity the poor GM who doesn't know, you know, they're new to it, and the player goes, I'd really like to play Sisters Battle because I play them on the tabletop or something really cool. And I go, oh, okay, there's rules from in here, and then he's agreed to it, and the player follows the rules they have here. In the previous set of rules, you didn't have that armor. You had to go off and get that armor yourself. They didn't have it for you. You could get training for a lot of stuff, but they got the Seraphim alternate rank, so you can put a jump pack and different things. The Celestine, I don't have so much of a problem with these. It's just, god damn it. Sister Apentia, which I find really weird, but they've been in the background for a couple of years now. Sister Dialogus, who are like, they're basically just an alternate thing for adepts to be extra knowledgey. Sister Famulus are weird. They're the guys who are basically breeding nobles. Okay, fine. I can live with that. I can do stuff with them. Sister Hospitaller. They also did very clever things sidestepping here, because in a lot of people's reckonings it was very, I will not say it was stated outright, but it was implied at the very damn least, because I can't remember if it ever said it outright, it was very much implied that these were like Catholic nuns. They were celibate. They were the daughters of the emperor. They didn't go off sleeping with people. But wait, no, I know some of you guys are going to say this, like, but what about that Caiaphas Cain novel? It's like, look, I like Caiaphas Cain. I read the novel, like, I read the first one, that's fine. But that's not... The easiest thing if people are going to disagree about this, because the thing is, you're always going to disagree about something 40k, you can just go, well, maybe different orders treated differently, or, you know, they didn't Caiaphas Cain, I'm not going to do it here. It's different sections of the galaxy, it could be different. They're a lot more unified generally, ecclesiarchy, in this is a battle in the general ecclesiarchy, but I don't like that, especially as you just end up with people talking about, oh, the Sister Famous thing. Well, I remember people suggesting going off like, oh, I'll start, maybe they could run a brothel and, you know, use it to gather information like Littlefinger and stuff, and I was like, right, I'm not sure about that. And they have a big section on fate talents and things like that. I'm not sure about some of these powers. A lot of these powers seem... I know you're spending a fate point to get to marking, or burning a fate point. Burning fate points are generally like, yeah, you're burning a fate point. Fair enough. sometimes they seem a bit good. I know you're spending XP in them, and you have to spend fate points to get these things going. But people get very upset sometimes when you go, okay, you did this. It's like, yeah, I did this, and this should, this can like really smash stuff up. It's like grand, like a guy wanted to destroy effectively a demon weapon. He uses, I spend a fate point and it gives me like loads of damage. Like, yeah, this is really good for killing demons. Except for I'm like, you're very clear in the scenario. You're not able to destroy this through general means. If you came up with something really inventive, that's fine. But you going pure fate, smash is like, yeah, they're making it extremely clear that you could, shoot this thing with a las cannon. You're not even like denting it. I'm not trying to belittle the pure fate there, but it's like, yeah, this is pretty weird, and just go boom, no, wasn't gonna happen. But you end up with some funky powers, essentially all the thing. The reliquary section ends up with stats for bolt guns, for Sororitas and Stormbolters things. The shield robes are really cool. They're 3 armor on basically everyone with the head. And they're these cool ecclesiarchy robes with like carry and stuff. It's like, I really like that. Some cool extra bits of gear. And very kind of witch huntry type gear. I have no real problem with the gear. They've got stats for arco flashes and things, which are godsend this book, and penitent engine, because you're working for the Inquisition by default, or even if you just want to use these stats for Rogue Trader game. Doesn't mean that this particular cardinal, corrupt or not, is gonna like you. He might try and kill you. But you get some nice stuff, and they go on about Clix's sector, relics and things. Get some cool stuff. And then it gives advice on running just a straight up ecclesiarchy campaign. It's not a huge section, but it gives you ideas of where to start, a bit of advice. And, it's got some nice stuff. Overall, if you want to put a lot of ecclesiarchy stuff in your game, whether it's a Dark Heresy game or a Rogue Trader game, or even a Death Watch game, this has some very useful stuff in here for you. But when it comes to the mechanics, some of the mechanics go a bit mad, and some go into places that people aren't going to like. Because I know from talking to other people, I'm not the only person who, leave outside the system battle and didn't mention nothing. They were very smart here. They didn't even reference any one way or the other. If they're supposed to be celibate or whatever, But they do a pretty good job in that respect. They give it, the background stuff is quite nice, but just the mechanics of it, I know from talking to other people, that not everyone likes the way they've dealt with because it's cell directive, and 2 cell directives, not just 1, 2 cell directives. Everyone is pure fate. We have an entire group of holy men wandering around serving the Inquisition. Not just like one guy. We have a couple of living saints walking around for the Inquisition. No, I don't mind it that they don't have to be clerics, but just stuff like that. And there was a few other niggly bits in the book, and that they make it so ridiculously available. I would have liked to seen one generic background, basically holy man or something like that, where you give up a lot or something to get this, because obviously it's meant to be more common for the cleric, and they give some of the alternate ranks, give it, and the Black Priest and Maccabeus gives it from Inquisitor's handbook. But I'm not thrilled about how they did that bit. Still, it does have some good stuff, and if you are going to have a lot of ecclesiarch stuff in your campaign, or you like the sound of the Sisters of Battle over what, like I said, it's not all just improvements over it's not all just buffs to hell and back for the Sisters of Battle. They get better gear in this one, but the equipment's great, but they're getting less. They're getting less for their XP. They're getting less advances. Somebody worked it out. I had a quick count on myself, and it seems to be legit. We're getting less for your XP, which some people are like, God damn it, because people transferred over, or tried transferring over their characters, and then they found out, oh wait, no, my character's has a lot less skills, but I'm getting all this awesome gear now. So I kind of, for game balance, now it's starting up the game, like I said, this worked out really well, but for games balance when it comes to this battle, the Inquisitor's Handbook version, I think it'd be easier gear-wise to balance out, because power armor and bolt guns are not to be sniffed at. And you start getting additional gears, you level up. You can get power swords and things like that. And depends on the game, which stats I'd use. Like if I was going for a game where people are getting equipment very quickly. If you're doing Ascension, just use these ones. because the gear is like, oh, you got power armors. I was like, fine, it's Ascension. And they did bring out a brought out a web supplement, I think it was either for this or for Ascension, where they had it was Legatine or the Palatine basically Ascension prestige, Ascension class, like a prestige class, the epic level kind of thing of it, which is pretty cool. Plus you could always see them coming in as the Hierophant and things like that, or a Crusader. They could definitely work in those kind of roles if you're talking about Ascension. But I'll leave it there. I'll see you again. Goodbye.